Hello, welcome. It's Sunday, and that means it's Xbox Tavern's X-Pod Tavern episode 43rd time. Welcome to this wonderful, wonderful show once again. I'm Jamie, and I'm once again joined by Daniel.
Hello, I'm back.
After a week or two hiatus.
Two whole weeks. Do you like my lovely tan?
Oh, yeah.
You look...
Taylor's
slightly less ghostly.
I'm joined by Russ.
Hello.
Hello, Ross. Graham.
Hello.
And special guest Pete once more.
Good evening, and a special welcome back
Pete.
to Dan. I've missed him.
Somebody had
thank you. I feel the love. Thank you. I'm touched in all the right places.
Evening, gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah. Not bad. It's a nice sunny day today.
Yeah, too fucking sunny. We'll bring back the wet rain and the cold.
Oh, it's raining up here.
I'm sure Ross isn't going to agree with that.
It's actually 21 degrees in Scotland today. We had
minus
sunshine.
Well, you're looking burnt.
Exactly.
Minus 21. Jesus, getting high.
The snow has stopped.
Woohoo! We can emerge from our igloos.
Nah, stay inside. It's for the best. Right, video games, gentlemen, welcome. Video games, let's talk about them. And all the things we love about them. First, you can head over to insectqueenclothing.com and use the promo code XboxTavern20 to get 20% off of some fine merchandise. And do it, please, because that'd be wonderful. And they deserve you to buy their clothes because they're very good and comfortable and lovely and very nicely designed and all that goodness. You can follow us on Twitter at Xbox Tavern. You can find our usual content at xboxtavern.com, where you find all of our written goodness. And then just search in Ask Jeeves, Google, whatever else you want to look at, Xbox Tavern, and you will find us, fingers crossed. And if you don't, let us know and we'll fix it. Right. So, should we talk about some more Halo? Who hasn't got bored of talking about Halo yet?
Yeah.
Can we not just like glaze over the top of it and then just...
I'll say I'm surprised you want to talk about it again. That's a bit of a niche game nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones, you know, sort of like, you got to be sort of real hip to know it. So that's I understand why I'm the only one who would understand about it because I'm not clearly the hippest one here.
We want the hip replacement, maybe.
Is that what they meant? That's probably what they meant actually. Yeah. All right. This is the main story, but it's pretty quick and simple, really. Halo Infinite is still due for launch this holiday. They haven't actually set a specific date yet, but it will not have campaign co-op or Forge at launch. They will be coming. Campaign co-op will be coming 3 months after launch with Season 2, and Forge will be coming 6 months after launch with Season 3. So obviously, it depends on what you enjoy about Halo. Personally, it doesn't really phase me at all, but I know a lot of people are kicking off about one or the other. Does anybody here have any particular gripes with either the co-op or the Forge being delayed so long?
Why did they not just use a small piece of common sense, right? And instead of having the multiplayer coming out at the same time as the main game, launch the multiplayer, let everybody get all jizz in their pants about the multiplayer, work on the rest of the campaign, drop it all at the one time.
I'm sorry. Did you just come up with a good idea, Ross? I'm sorry.
I know it's a shock. I know. I'm glad everybody sat down when I said it. But yes.
I meant more. That seems something that's like some high level thinking. I'm surprised anybody could think of something so so extreme, such an extreme example.
It's those 7 people that don't have Game Pass. Are they going to want to pay £60 just to play online?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the online's free, so they might as well just get it out of the way.
Very true.
And then if they're going to delay the co-op, the campaign, because co-op, as I said, I think I've played through some of the co-op with some of you, probably you, Gray and Pete, but it's never really been a big issue for me. But obviously, a lot of people do play it together. So having it come not only just delayed, but 3 months after whenever the launch might be, still, it seems like a mad choice. And then Forge as well.
It feels like they're drip feeding Halo. So we'll get the multiplayer, I presume, in the next, who knows, couple of months. Then we'll get the main campaign. Then they're going to drip feed the co-op, which is stupid. You should launch the game as one. And then 6 months after that, you're getting Forge. It just seems like it's a constant kind of drip feed of Halo, which
after the year delay already is kind of a bit of a kick in the bollocks, really, isn't it? Like,
have they actually said what's going to be there for launch, though?
Multiplayer.
Are they confirmed?
Multiplayer and single player campaign.
Yeah. Right, okay.
But what makes no sense with that is Halo's not like the type of game where it's Mass Effect, for example, multiple endings. So once you complete the campaign, you've completed the campaign. And if it's one of these sort of games, like if I'm going to play it, I'd play the co-op campaign. So I'd want to play that off the bat. So this is just telling me I'm not going to be playing the Halo campaign until 3 months after it comes out. I'm not the biggest Halo multiplayer fan, therefore they've lost somebody playing the game the first month, 2, 3 months it's out.
Yeah. I was going to say, would anybody just stick the campaign co-op? And obviously, you would. Anybody else who were going to wait for the campaign co-op, or would you go for it again when it comes out?
I think I don't ever play the co-op with you, Jay. So
that's enough to put anybody off, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think I'd need a co-op, otherwise I just wouldn't go through it by myself. Otherwise,
yeah.
I see. I'm the opposite. I would have to play it single player just so I can get the story, because I know if I'm in a party chat, I'll just be talking and I'll miss everything that's going on. So I would be one of those people who would then replay it with a group of friends, or wouldn't mind replaying it with a group of friends. But regardless of my situation, it is still crazy to not launch the game, as you've said, with the shitstorm of it being delayed a year and everything else. They're just shooting themselves in the foot and then dropping the news on a Friday and then kind of, I don't want to say closing shop, but kind of disappearing and for the weekend is not.
No.
Oh, the week's over. Oh, everybody had a wonderful week, and we're dropping Camo Galloping Forward.
Yeah.
Bye. See you on Monday.
It's almost as if they've dropped the tweet or the dev thing and they've gone, right, launch and shut the door. Let's go, guys. We've enjoy our weekends. Woohoo.
Barricade it. Well, run away.
Yeah.
No, it's even worse than that. It's like they've hit Twitter and they've just shut down, and the thing's popped up saying, you still have these programs running. I don't care. Shut down anyway. Just shut it down. Out the door.
It's I mean, as you guys were sort of saying, it's in terms of the co-op, part of the appeal of Halo is going through on harder difficulties with other people. So there is a sort of incentive to play again and with skulls and stuff. But I would probably only play it once and then maybe play it again, not 3 months later, but down the line.
When's the launch window for it? Is it November?
Holiday.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's no actual set date then.
No. So
Okay.
I mean, the fact that they're hesitant to even put a date on the campaign now that they've delayed the other stuff, it's still up in the air whether it'll even come this year or whether they'll push it back to February or March maybe.
I think it'll definitely come out this year because they've pushed so much, saying holiday 2021. I think we will see it this year, and I think the byproduct of that is why we're losing. That's why some of the features aren't going to be there in terms of, because it's not polished off properly for co-op. They've obviously taken it out to make sure that launch date hits. Forge is out because I think if they launch the game in the state that it's in, it won't be playable, or they'll be too buggy.
Yeah, the last thing they want is to release something that's broken, and then they'll be like, "Well, you had an extra year and you shit the bed or something."
Yeah, as opposed to just, they should have told everyone maybe earlier, as opposed to leaving it so.
Yeah, I think that's the big gripe, that they've waited to 2 months before launch. Well, not confirmed anything yet, but
theoretically,
yeah. Why they must have known before now. Like, the games went gold, I think. So if they know that the game's going to be missing these features, why leave it to so late? That just makes it look more shady. Have you had a lot more transparency? Like E3, or just after E3, for example, announced this is how the game's going to look. You've now seen it running how it's going to look instead of what it looked like originally. However, Forge and Co-op Campaign are going to be missing. Folk could have probably went, "Oh, that's fine," but they've left it 2 months before it's due to launch. And you're like, "Oh well, so what? We're getting half a game."
In fact, I mean, I think the five of us are probably still looking at it as, well, it's a bit shit, but at least I'll play it through Game Pass day one. But there's still going to be a lot of people out there who are going to buy it full price.
Yeah.
And only getting, as you say, Ross, half the game.
It can also work from a marketing point of view, because if they do obviously release it in November, and then in January they go, "Happy New Year! Did you buy an Xbox? Come play Halo Co-op. It's now live." So
this is the drip fee. I think that's partly to do with it as well. I think they're going to have that, and it will help the live service aspect of the game, because now we're talking about Halo now. We're going to be talking about Halo when it launches. We're going to be talking about Halo when it gets co-op. They're then going to be talking about it when Forge drops, and then in the middle of all of that, obviously seasons are going to drop in between somewhere, and you're still going to be talking about. So this perpetual motion of Halo is going to be spoken about for the next 6 to 12 months.
And this is all assuming it's actually any good.
Well,
there
that's
is that.
Yeah.
That as well.
I mean, again, the multiplayer what I played the other day was very good, but they haven't had the best track record with campaigns as 343 so far. So
No.
it could be that the co-op campaign's not worth playing because it's a bit rubbish anyway. So we'll see. On to Forge very quickly, and we'll move on to something else. Has anybody actually ever dabbled with Forge on 3, 4, or 5, or whatever ones? Are you bothered about it not coming anytime soon? Were you looking forward to trying it?
I'm less bothered about that not coming right at the start than I am Co-op Campaign, but it's part of the Halo experience having Forge. Well, not all Halo games, but you get my point.
Modern day one.
Yeah, so I expected it to be there, but I can't say I'm devastated that I'm going to have to wait a wee bit longer to get it.
I mean, Forge does just make your own maps, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
From what I just read. So it's not like a big thing, is it? Unless you're really into making your own maps.
Yeah.
There's a big community for it, especially now that it's coming to PC as well.
Definitely.
I think it'll be.
So can you play these maps online that you've made?
With friends, yeah. You have private games, or you can put them up. And I think if I remember rightly, on last time I really looked at Forge was in Halo 3, I think. But you could put them up and people could download them and play it with their friends. So it wasn't just you were making it for your friends. You could effectively
a bit like Red Alert used to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's things like, I know, like on a bit more of a side note, things like MLB The Show. You can design your own thing, and same with the new the golf club games, the PGA Tour games. They'd have design their own course that you can then upload and play.
Yeah, and any sort of track editor or stuff like that, and a racing game, stuff like that. So it's a bit of a bummer to start with, but hopefully we'll get some more technical preview stuff soon and some actual campaign gameplay.
If they're delaying that to make everything else more polished, then I guess it's a positive to end on, I guess.
Yeah, that's a nice way to spin it, Pete. Good work. That's why you're a special guest. Yeah, we hopefully won't have too long to wait to find out. But in the meantime, we could play this little game. I mean, we just spoke about a little indie game there. There's this game. What's it called again? Let me just get the name right. Sorry. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Have you heard of that?
I think so. I think I had
So-
that like on. Was that not like a game that came back out on like the 360? I don't think that was still current. Was it?
I think so. I believe it was originally released. Or let's have a look here. About 10 years ago, apparently.
I didn't think there was
and-
much of a following for it now. I thought it had sort of died
No,
off.
it kind of it was one of those sort of flash in the pan type things, and they re-released it again in 2012, 2013, 2014, I think 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. Where are we at now? 2021 is this one? Right, so Skyrim is getting Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition. So this is on top of what was the last one they did? The Enhanced Edition or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was a special edition, wasn't it?
Special edition that
that's it,
had upscaled graphics and things. That's what
Yeah,
the hell is
that's
in
the
this
new-
one?
Well, I think the only thing they did last time was they put all the DLC in there, and then Xbox did a FPS upgrade, didn't they? Just a
No, there was
Off
a
the bat, didn't they?
there was a visuals upgrade as
Well,
well.
they did upspuff the visuals
Yeah.
and give it some
So
extra
what the hell's in this
fancy
one,
lighting.
then?
So this one you'll be pleased to hear. Oh, Ian's not here.
I'm
Ian would have
confused
had
with
the
this
story.
The Return of
But-
Cicero.
No, the biggest addition that they're sort of not
Fishing!
touting, but fishing. They've added fishing.
I
to
did
Elder
see the
Scrolls.
fishing was in it.
Oh,
Yes.
we're on it, Jay. Oh,
We're on it. We've got to get on there. I mean, there's no multiplayer, but we can just
We can
code
stream
play
just
and
fishing in
just
Minecraft.
fish together.
Minecraft, Skyrim.
Well, Jesus Christ.
Why?
Yeah, so basically, this is a fancy
To annoy
upscale
you.
version with some extra bells and whistles and visual upgrades and stuff like that. And obviously fishing, which is coming out on the 10th anniversary, which is the 11th of November.
You know what I do
20
find hilarious about Skyrim is they put visual upgrades in Skyrim. It's a hideous game. Like your character models, your movement, everything about it, nothing looks stunning. Like
Unless you install some of those fancy PC
Oh,
mods.
yeah,
which
then
they've
it
obviously
makes it a
not
bit
bothered
different.
looking at. But
but it's not a game that you're ever going to make look breathtakingly awesome. But they still try and say, well, we've made the resolution a bit better and we've made the textures a bit better. It still looks shit, mate. It's just a really good game and a really great story. But, aye,
yeah,
visual
it's
packs on Skyrim's interesting.
does this, obviously other than Ross who's super excited for it, does this do anything for anyone at all for playing Skyrim yet again?
For the 8th time.
Yeah, if I was going to dabble in, it's nice to have sort of tidied up, maybe better graphics or better running with the putting it on the SSD drive, so it's not so fucking long loading into everywhere. But fishing has literally no impact on me going back to it. I don't even see the point of it.
You know, like the fishing part, I can kind of get because obviously there is like a whole crafting section with alchemist things that can make different portions with different things. You make different meals for different healths. I kind of understand where they're coming from it, but I never found it was that desperate to craft that sort of stuff in the game.
The only thing with
What the fuck's
fishing
going to
is
MacGyver out of a fish?
the only thing with fishing is obviously previously you just swim around and catch the fish, didn't you?
Exactly.
So now are they actually going to now remove that mechanic? So you can't actually just swim and catch. You actually have to fish. So
Who's that desperate for fish?
was there not? I'm sure there's a quest to do with fish as well.
Probably, but in
no,
the
it's sort of to do with like
older
alchemy
version,
and potions and stuff,
Yeah.
isn't it?
you could just jump in and literally just grab them out of the water. So now you just got to stand on the land with a fishing rod and wait for them.
Well, you know
I
what's going to
hope they
happen,
put
don't
the roll
you?
in.
There's going to be a news article going, "Man beats Skyrim just using a fishing rod."
Yeah, that would be
They'll mod
interesting.
it
That's
to
going to
use
happen, don't you?
to the Sega Bash fishing
Yeah.
rod controller in there. The upgrade itself is
Should be free.
If you own the Skyrim Special Edition, I think they said it was. Oh, actually, there isn't a price. I don't want to just make it up, but it's,
Pay to add fish.
You
in.
have to pay.
There's an upgrade to the Anniversary Edition, but it won't be free.
That's
For folks
embarrassing.
who want to just folks who just want to play Skyrim on next-gen consoles, a free next-gen upgrade will be coming to all players. So basically, this Anniversary Edition just bundles loads of stuff in, but you have to pay for it. But other players will get some sort of visual ups buff anyway, and probably load-in times and stuff like that. It's a bit of an odd one. Unless there's more to it that they haven't announced yet.
There
It
must
seems
be. If
like
they're
it
charging you money
literally-
for a game that's been out 10 years and been re-released 3 different times, 4 different times.
Well, I was going to say it's been what, like I said, 360, obviously PC and PS3, Xbox One, now Series consoles. It was released on the Switch,
oh, that was,
PC, Alexa.
there was actually an article, and it has just beaten. It's just became the most re-released game of all time. The
I
previous
must have knocked Ocarina of
Ocarina
Time
of
off the
Time.
perch.
wrong.
Go on.
Resident Evil 4.
Or
It's
Why?
just taken off that perch.
Speaking of Resident Evil,
Sis.
actually,
No.
Seen Dan's face just drop there as I mentioned Resident Evil.
yeah, right. Well, Skyrim's coming out again, so if you haven't played it yet, you should play because it is a very good game. We're taking the piss here, but it is really good. I put 200 and something hours in when it first came out, but I've no interest in going back to it because that was a kind of a one and done style game. I don't really want to put
That
another
was
250
10
hours
years
into
ago where
something
you
that-
could spend 200 hours.
Exactly,
in.
yeah.
yeah,
That was, I remember when it came out on launch day. I think I played like 18 hours on the first day just because I was well excited about it.
Wow.
And now I'll be lucky if I get 18 minutes and something like that.
Yeah. Let's just load in one of the screens.
not bad for a poor man's Dragon Age.
Oh, well, who invited him back? Who invited him back? All right, so let's go down to. I don't know if anybody has played either of these really, other than I know Pete and Gray have. But anyone play Among Us?
No.
I've played it a little bit, but I wouldn't say massively.
We had quite a good time of it back when it first sort of became popular last year during the lockdown and stuff. But
Has it finally come to Xbox?
Yeah.
it's been on Xbox for a little while. Well, it's been on PC anyway. Game
Yeah,
Pass
console,
PC.
I should say.
Yeah,
Is it on console now?
I don't think it'd be any good.
No, it's not on console.
But there is a game that's ripping it off called Fortnite, so you can
Oh.
play it there instead. So this is basically they've introduced literally an Among Us game mode. I think they called it
Imposters. I played it
Yeah.
the other day actually. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, I haven't got around to trying it. I haven't played Fortnite in ages, but it literally is 10 players, 8 agents, 2 imposters, and the 2 imposters have to kill everyone while the 8 agents try and fulfill tasks and stuff. Which is, whatever. I'm sure it's fun. But the main thing here really is that if people have noticed, if you look at the map, if you look at the sort of like the wording, if you look at the job roles and stuff, it's basically they've just gone
Copy
paste
paste.
Among Us, just slap a Fortnite coat over it. Like even the map layout itself apparently is almost identical to one of the maps in Among Us.
I love this news story because Fortnite have been, when they first started, they ripped off everything, didn't they? They were ripping off dances, etc., etc., etc. And then they've gone quiet, or they went kosher for,
Yeah.
it feels like, for a long, long time.
Played that a little bit cool.
That's because they started
stuck in
paying for the
line.
dances.
Yeah.
Well, I started paying for the dances, but getting all these licenses with Marvel and DC and everyone else, and then all of a sudden, they've just done the biggest FU ever. I mean, I'm surprised they haven't gone for Fall Guys or something like that.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but when Fortnite first came out, PUBG really tried to take them to court, didn't they? Because they were like, "Oh, hang on, you can't do
Yes.
this game. This is ours." But Epic won that, so
And so
I can't imagine Epic losing this one
is
either.
literally a copy of something
Yeah.
else. to
Yeah.
start with, so-
Yeah, exactly.
In fairness, like I have no issue. This guy come across controversial. I have no issue with Fortnite doing any of this. Did anybody play the original Fortnite?
Yeah,
not
I
the,
did.
the Save the World mode. You
The
mean?
Save the World.
Because you had to pay for that,
Horde.
didn't you?
No, that was, well, I got in as the
I think the first few could get in for free.
Free,
couldn't you?
and
It was
then
like
they
a
got
beta taste.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Then they got like passes that they could hand out to people to get them into the game as well. So if you bought like the game, you got 3 passes that you could pass into people. So this started off as a tiny little save the world horde mode, build your base and survive, and it's evolved into this like
cash cow.
yeah, overwhelmingly popular, biggest game in the world type idea. So if they want to take the shots at little indie games and make their money, fair play to them. They started off that way and they were successful. It's
Well, give
not-
it another year. Give it another year, you'll have Fortnite Fall Guys mode.
Exactly.
I think-
Basically, you've got that with creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think the main one of the main sort of sticking points with this is that the Fall Guys devs sort of reacted to it, and they said they've been trying to get in touch with Epic and stuff to do some sort of collaboration for ages, and they just brushed them off.
So get
And now
ahead
they-
of the game and make money when they do eventually do it.
No, they're just
Yeah.
saying we're going to do it, but we're not going to tell
Yeah,
you.
well, fuck.
Basically,
Yeah.
yeah, they were like, so here we go. Among Us community director Victoria Tran said, it would have been really cool to collab. And then someone else, I've lost the thing here now. But there was another sort of developer who said, like, we've literally been in touch with them for months, and they've been, been trying to get in hold of them, and they've just been ignored. And now they've stolen, well, not stolen, but it's been inspired by their
Yeah.
idea.
It's going to be like Fortnite's new mode, like tumble people. It's nothing to do with Fall Guys. No, nothing to do with. Don't know where we got that idea from.
Well, if anything, it's made Among Us relevant again. I kind of forgot all about it.
And that's what it is. Among Us had this like massive cult following during lockdown, and everybody could go and watch everybody be sus, and then it's fell off.
I know, yeah, no, suspiciously like the younger kids that still seem to be somewhat interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids have started asking about it now. Like, Daddy, can we play Among Us? No.
Yeah.
But the
My kids want to play Among Us in real life.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what they say. We'll run around and we'll pretend to. No.
Play Fall Guys. It's much better.
Yeah,
My
well, I'm
son
still
just
waiting for it
goes
to come to Game Pass.
imposters.
I
I feel like it's been a year since you
It
guys
has
talked
been.
about it coming to Xbox.
Feels like it's been that long.
Well, it said the summer, doesn't it? So we've got until September 1st, and if it doesn't drop September 1st,
So you've got a
No, I'm
week.
talking last summer.
Yeah, I'm sure they said it was going to be this summer.
So
Yeah.
where the hell is it?
We need
Yeah.
a tweet campaign or something. Get in touch. Was it Devolver or Curve? I can't remember. Devolver, I think. Isn't it?
Devolver.
Let's get on them. Devolver, where's our goddamn Fall Guys? I've been waiting. I don't
Yeah.
even mind if it doesn't go to Game Pass at this point. I just want to play it again because it's such a good game.
In fairness, a group with that for it'd be fantastic.
Yeah. But until then, maybe we'll get Fortnite to do it first, and then we'll have a little battle of the battle royales.
And then reinstall it.
Yeah. So Pete, obviously I know we used to play Fortnite quite a lot. You haven't tried this yet, have you?
No, I haven't been near it now.
No, they lost me with this season. They kind of, not really interested.
I think this is the second season where I haven't got the season pass now.
Yeah,
Because it's just, yeah.
if they bring back the bow and arrows, I might be tempted. Gray, I know you're a big Fortnite fan.
I mean, all you needed in your inventory was bow and arrows and a fishing rod. That's all you needed.
Exactly.
I only played it when you guys played. Otherwise, I have no interest in playing.
That's why I deleted it. I only played it like 2 times when Joe invited me, and I'm like, I can't do it.
I did get quite into it for a while. I did really enjoy it, but as I said, they kind of lost me with this season. Ross, are you at all a Fortnite fan?
I was playing it on Thursday. Got another dub, so can't complain.
Happy days.
Can't build to save my life. I just rely on being able to shoot the guns.
Yeah. I started to get into building just before I fell off of it, but I was nowhere near like that was literally when I say into building, I mean I could put down 2 walls next to each other relatively quickly.
I can do I can get quite a fast stair. Like I can build like a stair really quickly. Don't ask me to build like a tower. That's me done after that.
Yeah, no. As soon as they come up, that's what the fire arrows are for. Burn it down.
Yeah.
All right. So, I think that's probably all the interesting stuff. Did you want to talk about the Scuffy, Ross? Or
Yeah, I can tell you. Where
I assume you haven't bought yourself one yet.
No comment. No, not yet. I haven't pulled the trigger. I based
It's
on
very expensive trigger.
based on the title of what's been put in the show notes, I was looking at it and then doing sort of a deep dive comparison against the Elite 2. And the Elite 2 just seems a bit better value for money.
You've got to go the Elite
it's
2.
And
not-
it's cheaper, isn't it?
Oh, massively, £100 cheaper almost.
Yeah.
It's not got the same customizability, which is why we complain so much about the Elite 2. But for the money that you're saving, it's tricky to say, look, my controller's orange with my black accents and my orange little things, and it's £250. I mean, if I'm that upset, I'll take the faceplate off, spray it with a can of orange paint and put it back on again.
Is that controller aimed at a specific game or a genre?
They're saying it's for esports. They're saying that it's the closest that you're going to be able to get to like mouse and keyboard on a controller.
Right.
There's like the sensitivity of the triggers and things like that, how tight you can adjust them to make sure that the thumbsticks move with the same sort of reaction speed of a mouse movement. I mean, it's beautiful, it's really cool, but it's a
Proper
lot
premium, though. Isn't it?
it's a lot of money, and like even trying to get a hold of the Pro just now is impossible. They sold them all out in the first couple of hours. So you've only got the Instinct, which is the entry level, so I think the Instinct comes in at 150 base before you customize and touch anything, and then the Pro comes in at 199 before you touch anything. So as soon as you start changing colours, if you want different thumbsticks, if you want to take the vibration out of the controller, anything like that, it's premium after premium.
That proper give me a giggle when it said you got paid to take out the rumble.
Pay to lose a feature in the controller.
Take it out, yeah.
So it's
It's
£3.
only a couple of quid, but it's
Yeah.
still like the
But
principle.
the
of
thing
it.
is, it all adds up. Like I say, I built that controller not looking at the price, just looking to make it the way I would design my controller if money was no issue and that's the controller I wanted. And it was £249.98. And I was like, wow, is it really £100 more than the Elite?
You can get the Elite, and then you can go to, was it Venom that you reviewed, Jay, where you can get the different coloured back paddles and
Yeah,
Yeah.
thumbsticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick up that, and you're saving yourself 70 quid.
aye. So I think I will end up taking the plunge, but it'll probably be on the Elite 2 more than the Scuff, unfortunately.
And just say, get a can of spray paint, away we go.
Yeah,
Sorted.
probably a bit of a random one. Do we know what their customer service is like? Because obviously, when my Elite 2 buggered, I sent it off to Xbox and it was back within a week. Do you know what these customer service is like?
That was the other thing I'd heard. I've heard that Scuff's reliability is not A1, which for a £250 controller is slightly worrying. If you're paying £250 for a controller, if I've got any issues, I expect it fixed in 48 hours. That's
Having said that, if they want you to review one, you should give me your address.
true. But no, like I say, I might go for the Instinct. I might just go for the entry level, but it seems like that's a step below the Elite 2 for the same price. You don't get like rubber grips on the back. It's not quite as customizable as the Pro, so I feel like it's in a sort of empty space market. Like, why would you spend £150 on just the Instinct and not buy an Elite 2? So I feel like that would be wasting money over something that I could have better from Xbox.
Yeah, that's the eternal question, eternal struggle, isn't it? Trying to get the most bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, maybe one day we'll check it out in person, but probably not anytime soon, unless anyone wants to send us one.
I'm sure Dan will pick something up and.
No.
Oh no, it's
Not
not
yet.
sponsored. It's not made by Elgato. If it was made by Elgato, they already had it.
Yeah, well, next week, guys, I should be having a new camera,
Oh, I can't
mean,
wait to get it
a
before
new
you.
arm. Oh, I can't wait till you get a new camera either, Ross.
All right. So I think that will probably do it for the news and our arms. 30-day video day challenge thing. What do we say? 30-week
Booyah.
challenge. There we go.
Yeah.
So we are on week 25, which is a game you plan on playing. Sort of, again, the eternal question. There's always something to play, but we will go with Graham first. What is your choice, sir?
My choice is a game I've been talking about playing for the last couple of podcasts, and that's Borderlands 3.
Do it.
Mainly because I need to sort of finish off the pre-sequel in 2. But yeah, I mean, I paid money for that actual game, and I will get around to playing.
Dan, are you not the same? Have you not like started that and got like 10 levels in and gave up?
I haven't given up. I did delete it off my Xbox yesterday, funny enough.
I just didn't want to dabble with it and just go back into because that would drive me nuts.
Do you know what? You have to. For the bit I played, it's good fun. It's great. Definitely, you have to make sure you get some people with you playing it, though.
I offered to
Because
Sherpa you through it.
I know, but yeah, I've been terrible. I'm a
He
bad
wants to hear
human
the
being.
story, Ross.
Yeah,
Well,
sure
I'm
that'll
just
be
sitting there.
infuriating Ross to play it like half an hour at night before he gets told off and has to go to
Yeah,
bed.
true.
Yeah. Talking of which, guys, go here.
Yeah, it's sweet as hell.
What have
Been
you
on
been playing
35
then,
minutes, Dan's halfway done.
Daniel? You've got 3 hours to go, yeah? What have you been playing, Daniel?
What have I
So
been
what are you
playing?
planning on
Planning to
playing?
play.
Sorry. What are you
Well,
planning
so-
on playing?
Back for Blood. I know there's been the beta and the demos out all on the console, and I took a massive risk. Isn't the word? I took executive decision. I'm not playing it until it is ready and in Game Pass in October. So yeah, I cannot wait for Back for Blood.
Wise man.
Yeah. I was gonna do it, and then I thought, do you know what? No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna wait. I'll play the full finished game in all its glory. So I'm looking forward to that.
And that has to be October's Project Game Pass. Because
Oh, yeah.
What a game. What a game. Did
Yes.
you enjoy your time with it, Pete, the other week? I know we talked about it
Yeah.
already. But
Like I said, I'm concerned about the microtransactions, but yeah, I'll definitely give it a go because it's free, innit?
damn right. And speaking of which, Pedro, what have you planning on playing?
I mean, there's quite a few. I mean, Ian's bought about 500 games in the last 2 years. I mean, games like Cyberpunk, I'm still waiting for all the bugs to go. Witcher 3. I know I was crucified for last week, not playing yet.
What? I forgot
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Borderlands. I think I played number 1. I think with you, Graham and Ian. I think maybe once, because I remember we were like level 5, and we tried beating level 16, and Graham was just melling it, trying to melee it down.
That's about all I remember from our time playing it.
Yeah, but the one game I went for properly is Far Cry 6. Having played 5 and 4 and Primal, I thought, do you know what? A new game that isn't out yet. I think I'll go for Far Cry 6. I'm looking forward to that coming out, it getting discounted, and then me buying it on discount.
That's a Ubisoft game, so you'll only have to wait about 2 days.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ubisoft sale is here.
Yeah, and it's got one of my favourite antagonists, obviously from Breaking Bad. I can't remember the guy's name. I feel bad. The guy that played Gus. Yeah, he's amazing. So I'm looking forward to his work in Far Cry 6.
Damn right.
So good.
So you're only a recent convert to Far Cry, though, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm not a guy that likes to play first-person shooters, and I just thought, go for it. I'll play number 5, and then loved it. Then I played New Dawn, loved it. Then I did Primal, loved it. Number 4, loved it. I got number 3 installed. Sorry.
You loved New Dawn.
Love is a strong word, but it was decent. It wasn't as good as 5.
It was nowhere near as good as 5.
Yeah, it was the fact that they just threw the sisters into you, and you're like, oh, okay.
No, you got to the best one, number 3 yet?
No, I've got it installed, but I didn't want to Far Cry myself out, if that makes sense. A bit too much Far Cry, there's only so much, so I thought, I'll give it a rest, then I'll come back to it in a couple of months and play through number 3.
It might seem a bit outdated now, but I think it's still the best one.
Yeah.
Best antagonist, isn't it? Far Cry 3, or between him
Vast
and Joseph.
Montenegro.
Yeah, him and Joseph from 5 are supposedly on par. No?
Definitely Vast is better.
Yeah. Once you play New
just wanted
Dawn,
to shoot Joseph in the face.
Since halfway through 5.
Great, you'll be happy to know I spared him, just to piss you off.
And on that bombshell, what are you planning on?
I give him less than a second.
So the one I'm looking forward to is one that's out just now, is Hades. So I had my eye on it when it was on the Switch, and for some reason I never pulled the trigger. Just, I don't know, I struggle getting any games on the Switch unless they're sort of Pokemon. So I was happy when I seen it was coming to console, and then when I seen it was coming on the Game Pass, I thought, fantastic, that's me sorted for the next time I want to throw a controller through my screen.
Did you see that it was apparently the highest rating game on Xbox and PlayStation since it launched a couple of days ago?
I've seen nothing but good things about it, so I'm excited to finally get in a bit of time and sit down and play it.
You're good that you didn't do this.
All right.
Wait, you're lucky you didn't get it on the Switch. I was going to say, I was trying to read some of those texts.
Well,
It's
yeah.
a friggin' nightmare.
My old age, my eyesight isn't quite what it used to be, so kind of glad for that then.
Yeah, I've installed it as far as I've got. It's not really my sort of cup of tea, but I will give it a go at some point.
See, I'm the same. I don't like roguelikes, not in the slightest. But the story, from what I've heard, is fantastic. The way what it's based on with the sort of Greek mythology is right on my street. Yeah. So I thought, because of how good it's rated and how the storyline is, I'll give it a go. And apparently, is it not one of these type of games where, like, when you die, they give you something to? You have to die to almost make it better.
Yeah, there's some sort
you're
of
gonna
regression.
die. It's almost too hard that you're guaranteed to die.
Yeah, but they not do that intentionally.
Yeah, you get kind of certain bits to sort of power yourself up, and you kind of sense that you bring stuff back, like keys, so you unlock weapons or something that give you a better chance of progressing further. And from what I played, it is you're gonna die just because it's so freaking hard. If you try to do it, just if anyone completes it without dying once, then they're fucking lying.
Yeah,
you're not getting the story either. You're not getting the story either, because as you die, as you finish the game and die, it's drip feeding you parts of the story.
Yeah, that's what I'd seen. So I was kind of intrigued to, like, you're not worried about. It's not like Souls, for example, where you don't benefit from dying. Like, once you die, you go back to a point and that's it. There's no rhyme or reason to die. Like, obviously, there's no rhyme or reason to die anyway. But at least with Hades, they add something in it to make dying a little bit more bearable.
Yeah. I think that's kind of Supergiant's sort of MO in it, where they, even if you die, they still keep bringing new stuff at you. It's not just repeating the same dialogue or same scenes over and over again. It's always new and always fresh.
They've also put a Dan mode in there when you press start, so it makes dying a lot harder, so you can last a bit longer. It says for people that need to complete the story or have any chance of completing it.
I thought you were going to say it was dance mode for like making you last a bit longer, but
Well, do you know what? That's what I thought.
see, even Dan was in agreement.
Yeah. Press here.
It's like woohoo!
Oh, here we go, love. 7 minutes.
Press here.
And clean up.
Yeah, it's called Godly mode, so you can take a bit more damage.
Well, our man Jake reviewed it. He was quite high on it. He had a couple of, not negatives, but a few things he wasn't quite so keen on. But you can go read it.
I can tell you what the fucking doors meant. That's the only irritating bit about the game. That you get choices to go through different doors, and they don't tell you what the fuck they mean. You kind of have to work it out.
Figure it out, and
Sort of keys, isn't there, on the door, and it's
like one's got a key, one's got a little like a money bag, one's got a little claw, and it's like, okay, so the claw means health. Okay, whatever. And it's like the money bag means you speak to a vendor. The food means you get a power up. It's like, okay, none of this shit makes sense.
Something to proper sit down and learn then.
Yeah, don't make me write it down.
Cool. Well, maybe we'll all have a go at some point, and we'll report back next week, week after that, whatever. As and when we get to it.
What about you, Jay?
It's my turn now, isn't it? Yeah. Well, there's obviously, as you said, Pete, there's loads of games coming up, and you've all pretty much mentioned some of the ones I would pick. But I'll go for one that's been installed for about since it entered the Game Pass. It's Man Eater. I'm looking forward to giving that a proper go. I haven't even loaded it up yet, but it looks like a lot of fun. So
has that not just got a new update as well?
I believe it got some sort of
something to do with
S/X patch, and there's a new DLC coming out.
It's new. Is it maybe a new DLC? I seen it. All I seen was like neon green sharks.
Yeah, I think it's out in October, maybe. It's not out just yet. I know that, but and I want to give that a go. Definitely, it looks like a lot of fun. Excuse me. Just swimming around munching the shit out of everybody.
It was fun until you come to an alligator and they just fuck you up every time.
Yeah. It strikes me as one of these ones I'll never finish because it might sort of wear out its welcome a bit early, but I just want to give it a go really more than anything.
It's quite enjoyable eating the animals, and
we'll see how we get on.
Yeah, so I watched George play it when it first came to Game Pass, and he kind of enjoyed it for the first hour or so, and he got stuck.
Yeah, because the alligators fuck you up.
All right, well, that's stuff that we will be playing at some point in the near future, perhaps. But should we talk about stuff that we're playing right now? Well, not right now. We have been playing in the past. Our previous selves. Selves? Oh, Christ. Too late on a Sunday for this.
Inceptioned all of that. Gone.
Long time ago. Special guest Pete, why don't you kick us off? What have you been playing this week? And if you say Mass Effect, I'm going to fucking kick you.
What I haven't been playing is the question, Jay. Because I've been studying the gap between Mass Effect 1 and 2, right? So, right, okay, I'll fly through it. So, Football Manager, do my head and save, lovely jubbly. Mass Effect 3, I finished it on Insanity. The Citadel DLC was a bitch, but rest is easy.
What's the Citadel? No, carry on. Carry on.
It's the fan service that BioWare released to go, look, have everyone at a pie, have a hug, go kill Clone Shepherd. Anyway, play a bit of F1, of course, and I started and completed 12 minutes.
That's the one we wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Has anybody else, before you carry on, has anybody else started or finished it yet?
I have had the first. I don't want to say anything about the game if it's well. I've had the first few retakes, and that's all I've really played.
I think we're probably about the same point.
Yeah. So I don't. I won't dive in any more than that. But first few.
I won't say anything, but I lost count the amount of loops I had to do. I think I started at about 8:30, and then I was oh shit, I completed it. Oh god, it's 1:30 in the morning. So,
oh wow.
But I mean, it wasn't. You've got to be intelligent. I definitely dumb lucked my way through it. But yeah, I enjoyed the story and all that. But yeah, it was decent. I liked it.
So first few loops are hard
because I went in completely blind because obviously I heard you raving about it, Ross, and I was like, right, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna indie games aren't usually my usual thing, but I was like, do you know what, I'm just gonna dive in, play it, and see how I like it. I was quite surprised to see that you had the voice actors in there, but then
some of the voice actors are fantastic. The names that are attached.
But you can't tell it's them. Obviously, you've got Daisy Ridley. from
Daisy
Star
Ridley,
Wars,
James McAvoy,
and
Willem
oh,
Dafoe. No,
that's right.
Willem
But you
Dafoe.
can't,
Dafoe,
you can't tell it's them though, which is weird.
I agree with you. Yeah, you can't tell, can you?
Yeah, so it's like they paid to hire them, but then they're not. You don't recognise their voices,
Yeah.
which is a bit weird because I can't imagine they would have been cheap to hire as voice actors.
The thing is, I kind of hear McAvoy, but I don't hear
Yeah.
Ridley and I don't hear Defoe. But I hear McAvoy, but I don't know if that's
Yeah,
just...
McAvoy is the most pungent, definitely
Yeah.
the one you definitely recognise the most. But yeah, it doesn't take long to complete, so get on it. Get through the loops.
Again, not saying that this guy come across as completely redundant, but it's just quite cool how each loop is 12 minutes. Obviously, it makes sense.
Actually, the loops are 10 minutes, aren't they?
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Oh,
I thought that was...
Whoa, he's ruined it.
That's
I'm
it,
not
right,
playing
fuck,
anymore.
Game over, right?
playing this
Off the
fucking game anymore.
Xbox.
Should have called it 10 minutes. What
It
the
should,
Fucking hell.
generally, it should have been called 10 minutes. Because the loops are 10 minutes. And they
can
are
be
to the
shorter.
second as well. They can be a lot shorter.
Yes,
Yeah,
I've
I
discovered
realised that
that.
in my first run, I discovered that
Yeah.
very abruptly, and I was like, oh, and I didn't get any information at all
No.
out of the game.
Like-
So I didn't know what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
I stupidly,
He's like, how can I say this without screwing
Did
up?
you eat the cake?
you got to the cake yet. So
Yeah.
if you first play this game, I would suggest that you just
Don't
not
have
act
dinner.
normal.
Actually, there is actually an achievement to not touch anything. So as soon as you get into your room, if you don't touch anything, then you actually see a scene. I won't obviously tell what happens, but it plays out and you get an achievement for just not touching any buttons. I did that after I completed it, and I was like, oh, I've noticed that Chivo, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to my room, didn't touch anything, and I was pleasantly surprised by actually what happened. So yeah, first things first, don't touch anything.
Yeah.
First thing you play it, don't do anything.
There's quite
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
different endings, aren't there?
But I can imagine so, because there's so many different
There's
things to do.
3 or 4, I think. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
I saw there was some discourse, obviously, as there tends to be on the Twitters, about people being upset about one of the endings or some of the endings or something. I don't know what they are. I saw a brief clip of one earlier on, which I guess if that was it, I don't see what people were complaining about. But yeah, I believe there's quite a few.
It depends how
Different
sensitive
ways to get
you are to
through.
certain subjects, and that's all I'll say.
There is that, yeah. But so it took you a couple of hours. Dan, I don't want to. I'm not setting you up to be mocked here, but have you finished it, or are you still working through your first playthrough?
No, so I played it. Was it last night? Might have been last night or the night before. So I've only done a few loops, and I think I was drinking at the time as well. So I've got no idea what actually happened.
that.
Probably more concerning that you think you were drinking.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can't remember what day I played it. But we might have a video gameplay of me playing it while slightly intoxicated. You just need to approve the video first.
Oh yeah, I'll have a look tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and play some more this week, I think, because
I like the idea of the whole game. It's a fantastic idea.
I didn't realise it was not. Well, I suppose it is kind of point and click type thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So the trailer doesn't necessarily show that, and this is why I wanted to put the gameplay video up, because the trailer doesn't show that it's point and click, but essentially it's point and click, isn't it? With
Yeah.
the story kind of
Yeah.
progressing. So I was very shocked.
A
when
pro
that
tip as
happened.
well, spoiler free, some things you pick up, click on it. Don't just click away, click on the item, because you can't
okay.
progress the story unless the person said in his head what he wants to say,
Yeah.
which I found out the hard way. I was like, what the...
So a bit like Resident Evil then, for instance. when
Why
you
would
have
you
to
mention
inspect-
that?
A bit like what? Sorry.
Resident Evil, when you have to inspect an item, and
When you
then
gotta
all
get
of
the
a
gem.
sudden- Well, not a
For
gem,
the eye.
right? The skull, and then all of a sudden you'll see that a gem has to go in the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. I well, yeah. As I said, I only played a couple of. I got stuck because there's a bit you have to try and prove something to someone, and I did one, and it was like, "Have you got anything else?" No. I haven't got a fucking clue.
I might message you later to do something. As soon as you walk in, you can do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. So basically, what we're getting at here, there's a lot of variables. That you
Yeah.
can
Look at
possibly go
everything,
towards.
inspect everything, don't leave any stone unturned. Just
Yeah.
And
be thorough.
Yeah, and you
And
only
be-
get 10 minutes to do it, so be quick.
Yeah.
and be aware.
Sorry,
as
Dan, I
well,
have no
'cause
problems
again,
with that.
This caught me out. I didn't realize you could go out of that living room. I thought you were stuck in that room because the
Well, yeah, there's
cursor
a bathroom and a
doesn't
bedroom.
indicate that you say you can go in through the doors. I was
Yeah.
just, oh.
You just have to like
being
go
lazy
through.
and not clicking.
Well, no, because usually it comes up with a little circle, doesn't it, saying you can click here or you can click this. And I was thinking, go into bedroom.
Funny
or
enough,
actually-
yeah. It
The
doesn't,
door,
does it?
the
It
bedrooms
doesn't.
and that
So I
don't do
was
that.
like,
You just
maybe
have to
I'm-
put your wee dot past it, click, and then it takes you into it.
Yeah. So,
It's not like
so I didn't
enter
so
bedroom.
Make sure you go in the other rooms. But,
Right, I've got to go save my missus because apparently there's a spider in our room. So before I vanish for 2
Oh,
minutes,
shit. Is she
the last
right?
game I played was Last Stop. Over to you.
Boom.
Another good choice. All right, who wants to go next? Let's go with Ross.
I love the
Why not?
fact that he didn't mute it either.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
So we'll hear
All
him
we're gonna hear in a
screaming
minute is
and then
going,
while Guy deals with it.
Yeah.
there's going to be panic
Ross,
stations.
Ross, what have you been playing while we wait for him to?
I again have had a very quiet week, so I have been jumping on to a little bit more of my FM save. So I've been doing an online career with Football Manager. So I've been it's been Brentford and Bristol City. We are currently sitting in the first year, just in the January transfer market. Brentford have just faced Bristol City in the league first time, and it was a resounding victory for Brentford. So I'm happy with that. However, I did then play my next match in the FA Cup and got eliminated by Oxford, having decided it was a good idea to play all my under 12s in that game. So that was a fairly embarrassing result to be put out by them. But sitting top of the league, 1 defeat all season, massive goal difference. So Brentford are going to be in the Premier League next season by the looks of it. Bristol City sitting in second, could be following as well.
Happy days.
So it's been quite enjoyable. I do like a wee bit of online sort of co-op career on Football Manager. It's adds a nice sort of replayability, gives you an impetus to drive back into it because you're sort of playing with somebody else. We decided to use fake players, so it's basically like being 25 years into the game where it's all just regens that are in the game. So you don't know who anybody is. You need to sort of scout everybody before you've got any sort of knowledge of them. So it makes the game a wee bit more trickier. But it's then you've got the payoff of when you find a superstar because it's you that did the hard work. You found them. You uncovered this sort of diamond in the rough.
Not just relying on name value alone.
Exactly. And there's like I don't want to say a sense of attachment, but you sort of relate more to your players if you find this player instead of just being like, oh, I've got Messi in my team. Messi's great, fantastic. If you find this sort of unproven player that you've turned into this superstar, then you sort of feel responsible for his claim to fame.
Happy days. I mean, we kind of picked the right time there because Pete disappeared. So
Yeah,
that's a good time to talk about Football Manager. Good job, sir.
Get that
But
one.
yeah, so have you got long left on your career?
Oh
Or
yeah,
you just...
we'll play this game in the career for in game mode at least 30 years. So I mean that's us halfway through the first season, and we've probably put about
Pretty big one.
we've probably put about 12, 13 hours into it already, and we're halfway through the first season. So that'll give you an idea. A season, maybe if you can sit down, you'll probably get done about 30 hours. If you're doing 30 years, you can see where the math takes you.
That's a long old time then, yeah.
Exactly. So
Enough time to play Skyrim Special Edition.
well, this is very true. Yes, I'll have that up on one screen and then Football Manager up on another screen.
All right, Grayman, what have you been playing?
I have finally got to the DLC on Greedfall, which I was churning all the way through just to get there. And the amount of hours I put into that just to get to that DLC, and the DLC lasted kind of 2 hours, but like less than 2 hours.
Oof.
And yeah, it was a good kind of story, and it kind of fit in quite nicely. But yeah, it just felt a little bit short. There was no way that was going to attract people that have already completed the game back into it, because it doesn't have any impact on the final kind of story, or doesn't change anything in the end anyway. It's just kind of an extra set of missions that, unless I knew it was DLC, it could have just fit in nicely as like an extra kind of, part of the plot. But I did it anyway, and I finally completed that. And yeah, although it was kind of dialogue heavy and a lot of stuffiness with diplomacy and all the rest of it, it was quite a good storyline to play through, and I'm glad I played it and finished it anyway. But yeah, that one's done now.
So
And
what was the name of the guy? Sorry, it's the
yeah, I'm not gonna fucking miss that. I am
Still playing that, are you?
legate of the congregation. Not anymore. I completed it. Finally done it all. Just wanted to get to the DLC, and I've done it, and I've written it up, and it's all done.
yes, and it will be live. I think I've said it live tomorrow morning at some point. So head over to xboxtavern.com and read his thoughts.
Yeah, so that was done. It was good while the DLC lasted, but it took me towards the end, and I'm finally done on that one. And yeah, the other thing I've done is the other review I've written up, which is Mayhem Brawler, which is kind of a Streets of Rage Final Fight-esque.
Oh yeah, it's basically Streets of Rage.
Yeah, I mean they do have like the average guy, the beastly guy, and the woman. That's very much Streets
There's
of
a
Rage.
kid on skates.
Yeah, no kids on skates, but it's kind of supernatural. So the main guy's like a werewolf, the bigger guy's like a mutant, and the woman's got sort of telekinetic abilities. And yeah, it plays all right. It's quite hard than what it kind of looks like. It does like you can just smash them around, and you got your special attacks which have their own kind of special bar and stuff, and you find items to sort of regenerate that bar rather than it taking your health like what happens in kind of Streets of Rage in the past. Yeah, the story that's kind of laid out in like a comic book style, which is quite cool. And at the end of every stage, you kind of have a choice to make, and the story goes in different ways. So it plays out in you know let the person go, or you can arrest them, and it takes you to a different area. So there's different levels to discover, and there's 3 different endings to get. And yeah, it's all right. It's if you like your kind of side scroll and beat 'em ups, it's not terrible. It's hard. It's got blocking into it, which is the first time I've seen a side scroller have block and on it, and it's kind of vital for the bosses, otherwise they just tear you to shreds. And but yeah, I couldn't even complete it on the normal level. I had to dose it down to be able to complete the game. And yeah, even on that, it was still pretty damn tough. But yeah, the story was okay. It wasn't amazing, but for side-scrolling action, it's good. And you can play 3 players locally, just no online co-op, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, a bit of a shame.
That's a bit disappointing.
Locally, but
yeah, it could have done with it because it's playing it on your own. It isn't as fun as obviously playing with others. But the fact you can have 3 people on the same screen is pretty cool if you have local 3 players to do it.
One day, eh? One day.
One day. But yeah, it's a shame there's no online co-op. But yeah, not bad. If you like side-scroll and beat 'em ups, it's a pretty decent effort.
Nice. All right. Well, what's his name? Daniel. There he is. Have you played anything this week?
Hello. Sorry. Yeah, my microphone was muted. Yes, I have. I have played. Sorry, I'm just talking to someone on our live chat who's being slightly weird. So, Gilbert, for you, we're live. There's a thumbs up, dude. Right. Okay. So, I finished What Remains of Edith Finch.
Mm-hmm. Good game. Good game.
Yeah,
Tell us
very good
about it.
game. So, what is there to talk about? It's basically a walking simulator, and you have to go around picking up the rest of the story, kind of unraveling the story or telling the story from what I gathered to your child as you move along. I obviously I've been away, so I didn't have my controller with me, so I couldn't play games as I was out and about. So I used all the touchscreen on xCloud, which was quite nice, which worked quite well, which I was quite happy about. Yeah, and the story was, I thought, really good, really sad as well. Just how the family torn apart. Is that a fair word to kind of describe it? Yeah.
You're still muted, Jay.
Yeah,
Jay, you're still muted.
Jay's muted.
No, Jay's muted. Hang on, it says 1 second. Uno momento.
It's over there. He was trying to do miming, and we weren't on his act.
Yeah, when did we start doing charades?
3 words, sounds like.
Yeah.
Has he broken his mic?
No, I was too busy. I was getting wrapped up in Gilbert. Right. Yeah, it's quite an emotional story, and it quite
yes,
about a family sort of falling apart, like you were saying.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the right word without trying to spoil some of it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really difficult. But yeah, I like the fact that as you go into
Remains.
as you're going through the house, each room is dedicated to family member X or Y, and as you're looking through their room in drawers, or as you walk through like story appears on the wall, so you see the writing kind of come up as she tells you about Uncle Steve and how Uncle Steve unfortunately passed away. Spoiler alert. So I thought it was really well done. Really enjoyed it, and it's a game that if people do like story-driven narratives, should play, because it's only 3-4 hours, if that.
Yeah, it's really not. Very
Did
long
you
at all.
play for it in one session, or did you go back to it?
I had to on and off. I was going through on and off, which prolonged my playtime. I think if I would have sat in one sitting to play it, I would have got more out of the story.
I was going to say, it's one of those games where it's you kind of almost need to play it in one playthrough. It kind of almost like ruins the immersion if you have to split it.
Yeah, no, totally. I do believe I've probably missed out on some of it by not sitting through the whole thing. But the story is very powerful, very good game. For a walking simulator, for me to say that it was a good game is saying something. It's a testament to the.
It's quite clever as well, isn't it? How you do, one character story, and it sort of segues into the next part of the house, and you sort of end up almost sort of crisscrossing back and seeing sort of where you were and how maybe sort of how their room has changed or how their element has changed as you get further through the story. And you sort of see it in a new perspective. It's very good.
Have you played the park? No, it's another like kind of walking simulator.
Okay, no.
Yeah, it's another very walking simulator story-driven thing. If you like Edith Finch, you'll like the park as well.
Okay, not long.
Gone Home.
Gone Home, yes. Gone Home.
Is good. But again,
is that the one where you at the end where you were walking around the same room, or was that the park? There's two very similar to each other.
Gone Home is set in a house, and it's well, obviously I won't detail any stories, but it's if you enjoyed Edith Finch, Dan, definitely play Gone Home. Very good.
Yeah, Gone Home and the park.
All right, those are definitely going to be up for my games. And then I played one more thing. I don't know whether I should be mentioning it, but Jay's been banging on about Splitgate for God knows how long. So I jumped into Splitgate last night, and oh my God, how good is that game?
I mean, I want to say I told you so, but oh man, what a fucking game!
It is an awesome game, and I love the fact that it has that Halo feel and vibe to it. And then it throws in Portal as well, which I'm terrible at using portals and don't use them at all, to my disadvantage.
You're one of them.
Yeah, I'm one of them. I kind of camp up top and try and snipe you from afar. But yeah, it's really, really good. I've got some gameplay that's going to be dropping on YouTube at some point.
Do you agree with Jamie that it's actually better than Halo?
Well, hang on. I didn't say that, although I wouldn't necessarily disagree.
I can't believe how much they've ripped it off. I mean, literally the announcer's voice, some of the terminology when you're getting kills, it literally is a Fortnite rip-off of Halo.
Can you teabag?
You can.
Probably could.
Dan doesn't get enough kills to check to see if you can teabag.
Not only
Have you
can
been
you
teabag,
teabag,
shall I say?
not only can you teabag, there's actually a game mode in there where you only get points by teabagging.
No way.
So you have to kill the players and then run over and teabag them to get a point.
Can you use a portal to teabag yourself? Like dunk through one and use the portal on your head?
I don't think they've put any surfaces close enough to do that, but maybe. But
yeah, and that surface thing is quite good. So there's that kind of like a weird shape, like crisscross, like barbed wire,
blue mesh type thing, isn't it?
Blue mesh, yeah, and you can only put your portals on those blue mesh areas. So that's quite good. I mean, at first I thought I could portal from anywhere, but yeah, to have that kind of restriction is quite good.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure when I first played it and when I wrote my impression piece, as it were, if you could use other players' portals, but you can. No, you just can't see through them. So if there's enemy ones or if there's your own team ones, you can jump through or you can shoot through or throw grenades. Well, you can't throw grenades, but use them like your own. You just can't see where you're aiming, I think.
Which is good. That's good.
Which is handy because I've sort of reached the higher levels. There's a lot more people using them and a lot more people. It's a lot harder, basically. I'll get my arse handed to me a lot more doors to start with.
You can see that there is a learning curve with the portals. Like that, it seems like that is that's the way you have to play the game as such. Dropping the portal when you go into the tutorial, it does really heavily push you to go, right, drop a portal here, drop a portal there, now shoot that guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, why am I going through the portal? He's there. Bang. No, still haven't done it. You have to go through the portal.
Yeah. It's all about, as you said, you can only do it on certain surfaces, but a lot of the maps are quite open, so you can have portals either end, or you can have them sort of one side of a wall and on the other side of the wall, so you can see through. And as they run past it, then you can sneak around and shoot them as they sort of leg it past you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of tactics. It's very good. I don't know if I
really
mentioned
good.
that or not.
Yeah, really good. And like I said, there'll be a video dropping on that once Jay's approved it as well. I had a heavy weekend of recording stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think, right, Jane?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all right. I've
Always.
only done about fucking 8 reviews this week, and God knows what else. So it's all right. I'll get this done. Don't worry.
I'm sharing the same thoughts as Ross. How good is Dan's gameplay actually going to be?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I got loads of kills, mate. Loads of kills.
Self kills, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Grenade off the
We're
ball.
asking how many people you
there's
killed,
no
not how
grenades.
many people
Jason,
you
there's
were
no
killed by.
Yeah.
The grenades are only there to kill the portal, to destroy the portals. But I do slight. It's a game I find I'm probably not very good at it, but in terms of the matches I'm getting, I'm actually doing quite well. I'm normally end up top of the team or top 2 of the team. And there's one mode, I think it's called Gun Game, where it's six players all v all, and you work for like Call of Duty, where you start with a gun, and then when you get a kill, you get the next gun. When you get a kill, you get the next gun, and you have to get through all of, I think it's 15 guns or something like that. And I do pretty well and stuff like that. But as I said, now I'm leveling up. I'm starting to hit a lot harder players, and I've noticed I'm slowly sliding back down the leaderboards, which is a little disheartening, but it's still very good. So we should definitely get a game of it at some point.
Oh, definitely.
Before,
And if you've
it's still in beta, so
Yeah, I was going to also say, if you've got Game Pass Ultimate, there is a perk. So you get some free coloured skins and stuff. So
make
download your
things,
get your perk.
How many skins?
I think there's 4.
3 or 4.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing this week.
Lovely. Well,
Not
we
a
can't
lot.
beat a bit of Splitgate, really, can we?
No, definitely loving it at the moment.
Unless you play a bit of Quake.
Oh,
Has anybody tried Quake yet?
No, I've actually downloaded it. I haven't played it yet.
It's very good still. It's just as good as I remember, although obviously it looks a lot nicer now. So I've only played maybe half an hour or so, to be honest. So I downloaded it when I was down in Devon, and the download speed is horrendous. So by the time it actually got downloaded, I didn't really have much time to play. But yeah, no, it's very good. It still plays just like it used to, so it's not quite a full like remaster. So it's basically just like a shinier version of the Saturn or the PC version, I guess, back in the day. But it's still very good. Still pretty challenging, and fast paced and old school arena style shooting, which is nice. I would have liked to have seen them maybe update the graphics a little bit more, just because it does just look like a fancy sort of PC, like high res version, rather than it being like an all singing, all dancing new game. Yeah, modern game, I should say. But it's still pretty good. So well worth a try. And it came out, what was it? They announced it and then it released about 2 minutes later, didn't it? QuakeCon.
Oh, QuakeCon,
So,
wasn't it? I love it when
yeah.
they do that. That's the best thing to do. And here it is.
That was pretty exciting. So yeah, like I said I'll get some more into that this week. I've got a couple of reviews going up this week, which I'll talk more about next week because they won't be up for another couple of days yet. But one Fort Triumph, which is a pretty good XCOM style game, and one Tetragon, which is a pretty passable puzzle game, but with really terrible controls. We should talk about this video. The other main one I want to talk about right now really is a game called Recompile, which has just come out on Game Pass, I think last Thursday or Friday. Has anybody else had a chance to check this one out yet?
Oh, yeah.
No.
It's basically a Metroidvania, but it's set in, you're inside a sort of AI construct, and the idea is to go to, I think it's 4 different biomes, and you have to go in and fix them up because the computer's broken. The computer or whatever structure you're in is broken down, and so you have to go in and mend it by hacking terminals and repatching up cables and stuff like that. But in practice, all it basically boils down to is a lot of platforming, a little bit of combat, and a little bit of puzzle solving. But it's very good. It looks lovely. It's very colourful, It almost reminds me. I'm going to get some shit for this, I'm sure, but it reminds me of something like Burning Rangers, where there's just like different colors all over the place and all sorts of things shining around. And the levels, as you start a level, it sort of zooms out and it shows you the whole area. And initially, it looks quite daunting because you think, "Fuck me, I've got to go through all of that and try and find these, little nodes or little upgrades or stuff." But once you start working through it, it's all pretty logical and it pretty makes sense. It's pretty fun. And then there's various powers and stuff to upgrade. Like you get double jump or triple jump, or you get new weapons like a machine gun, or well, they're called different things. I can't remember the names now, but effectively a machine gun, a shotgun, rocket launcher, laser, stuff like that. The combat's a bit naff. It's a bit hard to aim at the enemies because all the enemies you fight pretty much are flying around you, and when you sort of look up, you can't look vertically. You can only look to like a 45-degree angle, but they tend to hover above that angle. So you've got to try and sort of dash away from them to try and actually get a shot at them, which is a bit frustrating. But luckily, there's not a great deal of combat apart from when it comes to the bosses, who are absolute cunts. They are rock hard. I'll put some clips up on Twitter. I was like, surely I can't be the only one struggling with this because this is ridiculous. They move so fast, and they have. The first one is a giant pyramid, and he spews fire and slams on you and chases you around this tiny little arena, and it's almost impossible to get away from him. I had to cheese it in the end and hide behind the gate where he was slamming down on me, and he couldn't hit me because the gate was in the way, and I just was basically somewhere he couldn't get to me, so I managed to pot shot him. Same with the next boss. But it turns out these upgrades that you get, they're sort of within the levels. And so as you find it, you sort of jump on the thing and you upgrade, and it goes, "Oh, you've got a new power now." And in the very first area, which I only discovered after I finished the game and went back and got all the collectibles, there's a power to slow down time. Which would have made these super fast
That would help.
slow. Which was a bit frustrating because obviously, I went through the whole game without this power, and although it was only really the first couple of bosses I could have done with it, they were so hard it nearly put me off the game because of that reason. And there was no sort of indication that I'd missed a power or that I wasn't ready to fight them. Yeah, some games will be like, "You're not ready for this area yet," or they won't even, like later on there's a level where you can't even access it because you haven't unlocked the power yet to get in there. Yes. Whereas this let me fight the boss without something that would have actually helped me fight them. And then, as I said, I had to cheese it in the end, which was a bit sort of underwhelming. But other than that, partly again, I accept responsibility for not searching, because on the map it does show you that there are upgrades in the area, but it's a really abstract map, so it doesn't show you where you are very clearly or where the upgrades are. It just shows you sort of a rough area. But again, it's not very clear, so I just missed that completely. But it's very good. Story's very good. Combat's naff, like I said. Traversal's really good, and the puzzles are quite good as well. There's some sort of hacking mini games and stuff. Again, it's not necessarily explained very well, but once you get into it, it starts to make quite a lot of sense. And then they don't use it again, so swings and roundabouts. I was like, I'm starting to understand the gist of this now, and then to do it again for the rest of the game. But those little niggles aside, it's very good. Highly recommend checking it out. It's on Game Pass, obviously. And I think it's Series S and X only. So if you still got an Xbox One, you're out of luck, I'm afraid. But it's it probably took me maybe 8 hours to beat. And that was with, I beat the game, got the bad ending, as it were, and then I went back and collected all the things so I could get the good ending, which took maybe another half hour or so. Really good. And I believe the review has gone live while we've been recording this, so go and check it out. Whoop, whoop. All right. So, have we got anything else we want to pad it out with? Because we've only been going just over an hour. We can't, this kind of...
Dan's going to kill you.
All I was going to mention is you haven't mentioned about Project Game Pass.
Oh, yeah.
He did say Project Game Pass. He just hasn't...
Project Game Pass. I don't think we played it, did we?
We did not. We were meant to play it last night, and then for some reason it went tits up. It
just went a bit higgledy-piggledy.
Yeah.
Are we doing this thing on Tuesday with the Gamescom thing?
I'm definitely about to do it, so yes. Okay,
I will be about then. So, Gray, I know you're not about tomorrow.
Am I not?
You got football, have you two? Or
no, football's
gone.
Oh, is it finished? Oh, well, how about tomorrow then?
I can do tomorrow night. I can do tomorrow night. I can do Wednesday night, and I can do tomorrow and Wednesday night.
Daniel?
Yeah.
I'm actually at football because Oz never finishes, and then I've got.
Fair enough. Well, maybe we can get old
Walking
Ian. He's
football
not here
never
this week.
finishes.
We
No.
probably should have mentioned this. He's not here this week because he's been living at large at some sort of festival weekend. So he's
Festival? What type
nursing
of
a-
festival?
he hasn't actually explained. He just kept saying festival.
Yeah, it was very,
So it could be
very
any
sort
sort of,
of.
Aloof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Festival
I mean,
for the easily offended.
It could be
Shots fired.
any kind of. Well, I wouldn't want to speculate, but yeah,
Let's not.
I'm sure if it was the other way around, he'd be speculating all kinds of shit. But I'll be the
Older
the
man.
bolder, yeah, something like that. Bit back this week, no doubt, to give us more shit about not finishing games and being old. So,
Hey, I
let's-
finished a game, thank you, this week.
Did you?
Yeah, this week.
You
Not
did.
when he's not here. You got to make sure you finish another one now.
I know, flipping hell, it's going to be tough.
I know it's a lot to ask. I'm sorry.
You
has
can't tell
anybody
me
else,
try doing Greedfall. That took bloody hours.
has anybody else got anything they want to mention before we move on to the outro segments?
All good.
No, so I did actually play the Ascent, but I didn't like it.
It's
I've
definitely
never,
better
I've
with
never, I've never been a
people.
fan of top-down games. Like, I looked at Hades and I was like, I think if there was like a tart you could lock onto the enemy, I think it'd be all right. But because you're literally just, I couldn't get on with it. It was literally like the first batch of enemies. I did that story, yeah, okay, running, gun, no.
There are weapons later on that are homing weapons, which is what I use at the moment. A rocket launcher,
Yeah.
like a laser rifle type thing. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. But again, it's definitely better with people.
It
It's
is,
a
yeah.
definite. But,
Raining.
well, we shall try and play some video games this week. Right, so let's do Game Pass stuff. Ross,
So,
on the
I'll
Game Pass.
jump back to ones that are just dropped just now. So we've got 12 minutes on console, was August 19th, and Recompile, as Jay was saying, was Cloud Console and PC, August 19th. And then we have coming up this week, we've got Psychonauts 2 on console and PC, August 25th. And then Myst on Cloud Console and PC, which I believe is an old game that's getting a remaster.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
You ain't that bloody young, sunshine.
Who, me?
I believe is an old game. My arse.
It wasn't so much age, it was just I had never heard of it, but somebody had said that it was
Like one of the classic adventure. Yes, it is an old game from the
fucking
90s.
hell.
so
Yes.
But
Cloud,
they've upgraded it to go in Unreal Engine now. I think this is more free flowing rather than just the static screens of old. But anyway, Ross doesn't know anything about that. Carry on, sorry.
Cloud Console and PC on August 26th.
Nice. So
Infuriating fucking game.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think I'll even attempt to download that one. Let alone
I
try and play
completed it, but fucking hell, it's literally no handhold in that game.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I did like Abduction, which was the newer one from the same people
yeah,
who made
yeah,
this, but
I did that one as well.
but even then, yeah, that was a struggle
Hard.
by the end, or by the time I gave up with it because it was just so abstract. But anything leaving Game Pass, Graham? No, man, what do? You do games with gold.
Yeah,
Leaving Game Pass,
turd.
anyone?
It's usually Ian, but Dan's stepping up
Yeah.
to the plate this week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
said
just
you
put
were.
his name in.
I said I can do it. Right, so leaving this month, we have Blair Witched, Double Kick Heroes, and Stranger Things 3, the game, and I forgot to say NBA 2K21. They are all exiting. Is it the 16th, isn't it? They go normally. Is it 16th? Or was it the end of the
Along
month?
those lines, I think, yeah.
On
Yeah.
the subject of the NBA 2K, do you think we'll see less of those games? Now EA's in there, and EA have their own basketball game. Do you think games like 2K basketball won't go in there anymore?
Maybe, but then EA's basketball games have sort of shit the bed in the last 5-6 years, haven't they? I don't think they've even released one, have they?
Don't think they've got the license, have they? So
No.
that's why they
After
haven't.
that abysmal one which they nearly recently changed their mind. So I don't know. We might do. They haven't said anything about NBA 2K22 going in yet, have they?
No, I
Going
don't
into Game
think.
It
Pass.
will eventually, but not
Yeah.
like the last couple I've went in.
Yeah. So not a massive list of, not a massive shame of what's going there. Blair Witch maybe, but
Blair Witch is
Yeah.
a good story. Should be played. I finished that game. It was good.
again, that's another one I should say for. I will get to play at some point. I've had it installed since it come out, and I've never even fucking loaded it up. Let alone stuck there and played it through. But
Play it. It's a good story. The mechanics and stuff are a bit, but yeah, it's definitely a good story.
nice. And Grayman, do your thing with the games with gold.
Right, we have Darksiders 3 from August the 1st to the 31st. Ukulele from August the 16th to September 15th, and Guru, Mark of the Wolves, from August the 16th to the 31st.
Good day. So if you're a Games of Gold member or Ultimate member, get on them, download them, pick them up. They're free. And then if you want to play them, you can. If you don't,
just still don't play ukulele like everyone else.
Well, yeah, and preferably play one of the better Darksiders if you can.
Darksiders is a good series. 3 wasn't its strongest iteration.
No, it was a bit Dark Soulsy for me, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I think that's about it, isn't it? So
getting there.
I think so. If we can just, how long we got?
We're dragging this on a bit.
Really, so
yeah, you haven't talked about Resident Evil yet.
I know. I was just thinking. Do you know what?
Mentioned it twice. No, that's enough.
There is a very brief Resident Evil thing. The official like Twitter account put out a tweet. It said 4.itchy.tasty. And everybody took that as some sort of tease for Resident Evil 4, but it's actually a quote from the original Resident Evil in one of the diaries.
Well, they've already made 2 and 3 now, haven't they? So they might as well do 4.
Yeah. Well, 4's the big rumor, but they. Anyway, sorry. Resident Evil 4 Monday, but don't play. I don't know, something else. Well, we've been Xbox Tavern, I suppose, this week again. It's been wonderful. I've enjoyed it. I don't know about you. I've enjoyed listening to everybody talk about their video games. So if you've enjoyed it, why don't you head over to youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official. Give us whatever it is, a like and subscribe and bell ringing and all that goodness. Head over to xboxtavern.com for all of our written stuff. You can head over to Twitter at Xbox Tavern, as well as finding Daniel at ChocolateBear80, Ross at Chaotic UI,
or just his forehead.
I was researching a news story.
Graham at Graham Reaper and Peter at Peter Kninch. What was that, Ross? Sorry, you found another news story?
No, we're not mentioning it because it's one that I could see this podcast going from a nicely well-planned one to 6 hours long, so I'm waiting.
Okay, all right, well.
It's about arcade machines.
No.
Maybe we should get to that next week. Why don't you join us next week, 8 p.m. every Sunday on youtube.com/Xbox Tavern Official, I believe I just said. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, you're a fucking hero. And we will see you again next week. Goodbye.
It's okay, guys.
Hello, folks. bye.